As you know, I was in the Washington, D.C. area, or what they call the DMV region this weekend. Now, normally when I travel, it's usually to work with some clients, but this was purely a social trip. A close friend of mine that I went to college with, he gave a get together. And so I was reunited with some college friends of mine from Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Um, but anyway, I'm not going to go on a long story about that. Now, as you know, I got my various followers who I appreciate. Sometimes this is a simultaneous good and bad thing. Sometimes my followers send me links and or audio clips from other people's podcasts, particularly when my name is mentioned. They'll say basically, hey, Alan, did you know this person was talking about you? Or did you know this person was mentioning your name? Or if not an audio clip, they'll send me a rundown of what happened. And I had a couple guys send me stuff through private email. One person posted them in the comment section of my last video saying that who else was talking about me other than the Grim Reaper. But that didn't raise my eyebrows. But here's what did raise my eyebrows. Evidently, he had a young brother on his show that I'm familiar with named Sean James. Sean James. I've actually had a couple interactions with this young brother. I first became familiar with him roughly a little over a year ago. And he was always cordial with me. We've had no history of, beefing or anything. But anyway, apparently he goes on the Grim Reaper's podcast and refers to Alan Roger Currie. Yours truly. He refers to Alan Roger Currie as a blue pill beta male. Yeah. I was genuinely shocked. I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I was at least a little bit hurt. Because like I said, I like this young brother. He seems like a pretty intelligent fellow, based in the Bronx, I think, New York City. But I guess they were he was on the Grim Reaper show, and of course, Grim Reaper, just about all his topics center around the fuckery of black women. The fuckery of black women. And I guess somebody said to him, Grim Reaper asked Sean James, why do you think guys like us will talk about the courage to talk about the fuckery of black women, but guys like Alan Roger Currie shy away from talking about the fuckery of black women? And apparently, I don't know this for 100% fact because I didn't actually hear it myself. I'm going on other people's word, my followers' words. They said, Sean James said, because Alan Roger Currie, along with a lot of other guys on YouTube, are blue pill beta males. See, I can't even say that with a straight face, man. I can't even say that with a straight face. Okay, so let me clear up both of these, okay? Let me just, I don't know how long this is going to be. I always like to say, I hope it's under an hour, but who knows? This might be over an hour. But I got to just, there's one area. Okay, let's start with blue pill. Blue pill versus red pill. Technically, in the manosphere, there's 3 pills. And in case you're totally ignorant to all this type of terminology, this comes from the movie The Matrix. The Matrix is where the whole concept of blue pill versus red pill came from, is the movie The Matrix. So in manosphere terms, what does it mean to be blue pill, red pill, and there's even a third pill known as purple pill? Blue pill, red pill, and purple pill. Start with blue pill. Here's generally speaking what it means to be blue pill. When you're blue pill, that means as a man, when it comes to evaluating the behavior of women and evaluating the general nature of male-female relationships, dating and relationships, you tend to be primarily a combination of 3 things. You tend to be a combination of naive to one degree or another. You tend to be somewhat naive about women's behavior, the general nature of women. You always hear me talk about the true nature of women. A blue pill guy is a guy who's naive about the true nature of women. That's number 1. Number 2, a blue pill guy is very idealistic. Idealistic. In other words, they tend to always assume the best of women. They tend to look at women as kind of these innocent, wholesome, damn near flawless, can do no wrong type creatures. They believe that their moral character and integrity is beyond reproach. So they're idealistic in the way they both see women specifically and the nature of male-female relationships, dating relationships in general. Number 3, blue pill means you maintain a lot of traditional and old-fashioned type morals, values, and ethics when it comes to dating and relationships and marriage. You maintain a lot of traditional and old-fashioned morals, values, and ethics when it comes to dating relationships. Meaning that you believe a man and woman should meet each other, get to know each other, fall in love, experience true love, get married, have 2 or 3 kids, and live happily ever after in the suburbs without any major problems. If that's your idea of how, your life should unfold, particularly as it relates to dealing with women, you're blue pill. That's a blue pill man. If I had to add one more thing along under that, when it comes to the combination of being idealistic and old-fashioned, well, it incorporates all these 3. Being naive, idealistic, and old-fashioned. You tend to foolishly believe, that just about all women on earth, with maybe the exception of prostitutes, call girls, and escorts, are biologically monogamy oriented. Biologically monogamy oriented. You tend to think that women have a natural inclination to be monogamy oriented. I literally have met men to this day that still believe that women are born with more monogamous tendencies than men. There are some men who genuinely believe that. They believe that women are born with more monogamy-oriented tendencies than men are. And see, that's why I love Daniel Bergner. You always hear me talk about Daniel Bergner's book, What Do Women Want? Because that's one of the biggest things he points out in his book, is that there's never in the history of life been any scientific or biological proof that suggests that women are biologically more monogamy oriented than men are. There's none, absolutely none. There's nothing that proves or even suggests that it is in a woman's DNA, in her genetic code, to be more monogamy oriented than a man. Like a lot of men think, well, a woman has one egg that she wants fertilized, and if she gets pregnant, she has to carry around a baby for 9 months, so surely that's going to make her want to latch on to just one man and stick with that one man. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. For those who believe that. For those who believe that, you know what's coming. Insert dog face here. Some of you guys, you crack me up. No. Man, there's women. I know women, literally, and I'm not even making this up. I know women who have got pregnant by guy number one, had a baby by guy number one, in less than 3 months after they had a baby by guy number one, they was already fucking guy number two and went ahead and had a baby by guy number two. And I'm not even joking. So, for all you guys who think because a woman just carries one egg per month in her body to be fertilized, and if it does get fertilized, she becomes pregnant and just carries a man, that's naturally, just the fact that she's carrying around a baby is going to naturally make her more monogamous to a man? Wake the fuck up. Please. Wake the fuck up. So that's blue pill. Again, if I had to narrow down to 3 characteristics, when you're blue pill, you're a combination of naive, idealistic, and old-fashioned / traditional. Naive, idealistic, old-fashioned / traditional. That's blue pill. Red pill is when you've been enlightened and exposed to what I always refer to as the true nature of women. The true nature of women. In other words, how they really are, as opposed to how you might have spent years believing them to be. How they really are, as opposed to how you may have spent many years, if not decades, believing them to be. A red pill man is not naive about women in any way, shape, or form. He's more realistic than idealistic. He's more realistic than idealistic. And he doesn't really view dating relationships from an old-fashioned and or traditional mindset. He views dating relationships from current day, like the year 2018. He's not stuck back in 1918, 1928, 1938, or 1948. He's viewing dating and relationships between men and women as it relates to 2018, the year we're living in right now. That's what a red pill motherfucker's gonna do. So Sean James, since you allegedly, I'm gonna throw in to give you benefit of the doubt by using this word allegedly. Since you allegedly referred to Alan Roger Currie as blue pill, let me just break this something down to you real simple. I'm gonna tell you 2 experiences that a man is gonna have in his interactions with women that will automatically disqualify you from being blue pill. That's gonna automatically, it's not even gonna be optional. It's gonna be automatic. 2 experiences a man, 2 things a man can experience with women that's gonna automatically make you red pill rather than blue pill. And I've talked about this before. It'd be these 2 experiences at minimum. There could be more experiences, but at minimum it's going to be one of these 2 experiences. Is when you've had women cheat with you, and or when you've had women cheat on you. Let me repeat that. Anytime there's been at least a handful of times that you've had women cheat with you, and or you're a man, or you've had at least a handful of women cheat on you, and you found out about it. Not just they cheated on you and you didn't know about it, but they cheated on you and you actually found out about it. You're automatically going to become red pill. You're automatically going to become red pill. Guaranteed. No exceptions. Guaranteed. And this is where I'm going to refer back to one of my previous videos. If you remember a video I did last December, around mid-December of last year, I did a video where I basically talked about how a lot of guys in the manosphere tend to think, somebody had written in my comment section something to the effect of, the main battle between men in the manosphere is between men who have a blue pill mindset versus men who have a red pill mindset. And I said, that's not true. That's not true. And I still maintain that. That's not true. What I basically went on, I'll put the link in my comment section to that video, unless it's a Patreon exclusive. I might have made it a Patreon exclusive, but if I didn't, if it's still a free video, I'm going to put it in the comment section. If you remember, my longtime followers, if you remember, I did a video where I said there's basically what I call 3 factions in the red pill. There's 3 separate factions in the red pill. And this is what I nicknamed them. I nicknamed them the Tyrone faction, the Thomas faction, and the Theodore faction. The Tyrone, Thomas, and Theodore faction. To give you a quick recap of that video from last December, what's the difference? What I said, a Tyrone type is a guy who's red pill primarily because he's had a lot of women cheat with him. Cheat with him. I think you know from my experiences with women, that's the category I would fall into. I wrote an article that I'll probably put in the comment section also just about a month ago, where I talk about it, and I talk about this in chapter 9 of my book, The Possibility of Sex. Do you know I've been a woman's other man, her side dude, a minimum of about 35 times. That's minimum. It might be as many as roughly 39 or 40 times. But I'd say minimum. I was another woman's other man between the age of roughly 17 and the age of roughly 37, roughly a 20-year period. I was a woman's other man or side dude a minimum of 35 times. So Sean James, I'm trying to be cordial to you. I'm going to break this down to you because it sounds like you don't really know what it means to be red pill. When you're a motherfucker like me and your dick has been in another man's wife's mouth and pussy, how the fuck you gonna be blue pill? Huh? Explain that to me like I'm a 5th grader. Explain that to me like I'm a 5th grader. You know how many married women my dick was in their mouth? Matter of fact, one of my more scandalous stories that some of my regular YouTube viewers from 2017 know about, or it might be arguably my most scandalous story that I shared a couple times on previous YouTube videos. I one time had a married woman sucking my dick while her husband was literally in the house upstairs preparing dinner for us. Her husband was upstairs preparing dinner for us, and we were in the basement, and the wife was sucking my dick. So do you think I don't know how many married women who were engaged to be married, and women who had long-term boyfriends, how the fuck am I going to be blue pill? I mean, seriously. I'm asking you that in all genuineness. How the fuck would a motherfucker like me going to be blue pill when I know that I could fuck another man's wife like that? Sean James. I done fucked other men's wives within less than 48 hours after I met them. When their husbands went through a wedding ceremony, spent all that time with them, spent all that money on them, and I met their wife, and 2 or 3 days later, my dick was in their motherfucking mouth. And you gonna call me blue pill? If that's the definition of blue pill, then I'm blue pill like a motherfucker. If you can fuck other men's wives, fiancés, and girlfriends and still be blue pill, then I'm blue pill like a motherfucker. Get it? Got it good. So again, going back to that video in December, I said there's 3 factions of red pill. There's the Tyrone types. Tyrone types, again, would be similar to guys who've experienced what I've experienced. You've had a number of women, at least a handful of women, that have cheated with you. The second type would be what I call the Thomas types. That means you're in one of 2 categories. A Thomas type would be either you've only had women cheat on you. You've had at least a handful of women that have cheated on you. You've had your girlfriend cheat on you, your fiance cheat on you, your wife cheat on you, and you found out about it. Or it could be a blend of both. Or the second type of Thomas type is when you've had maybe 1/2 to 2/3 of the women you've been in a relationship with cheat on you, but you've had at least a small percentage of women that have also cheated with you. So you've experienced both. So that's the Thomas type. Thomas type is when you've either had just exclusively women cheat on you, or you've had a good number of women cheat on you, but at least 1 or 2 women that have also cheated with you. That's what I call the Thomas red pill type. Then the third red pill type is what I call the Theodore type. The Theodore type. Theodore is when you've never had a woman cheat with you. You've never had a woman cheat on you, but you've heard about the sexual escapades of the Tyrone types, and you've heard about the unfortunate betrayals of the Thomas types. And from both of those combined together, you begin to form a lot of your opinions about the nature of women. You haven't really experienced anything firsthand. Again, you've never had women cheat with you, and you've never had women cheat on you, but you've been privy to the experiences and sexual escapades of the Tyrone types, and you've been privy to the unfortunate betrayals of trust of the Thomas types. So from there, you formulate a lot of your own beliefs, attitudes, and opinions about the nature of women. That's what I call your Theodore types. Those are the 3 general factions, at least in my strong opinion, that make up the red pill manosphere. The red pill aspect of the manosphere is your Tyrone types, your Thomas types, and your Theodore types. And what I basically argued, and I don't want to rehash the whole video, but what I basically argued in that video I did in last December is that, and this relates to people asking, why doesn't Alan Roger Currie go in on women's fuckery, and more specifically black women's fuckery, in the same way that a lot of other, red pill types do, even though Sean James thinks I'm blue pill. And I basically said, if you're a Tyrone type red pill dude, you're not going to have the same anger, bitterness, and resentment towards women that a Thomas type or a Theodore type will. You're just not. Simple reason why? Because, I'm going to put it in blunt terms, I've benefited from aspects of women's fuckery. I've benefited. For example, most people consider a woman being unfaithful if they're unmarried or adulterous if they're married. Most men would consider a woman being unfaithful or adulterous as representative of fuckery, which it is, actually. It is. But here's the thing. If you're a Tyrone type, like I've been in my life, I've benefited from women being unfaithful and adulterous. I've benefited from that. So why would I be getting on a podcast saying, bitches who cheat on men ain't shit. They fucking bitches and shit. Women who cheat on their boyfriends, their fiancés, and husbands, man, they should burn in hell. They should have their heads cut off because they ain't shit. Why would I do that? When I've had married women suck my dick and provide me with sexual pleasure. Why would I do that? Honestly, I'm being real. Why would I do that? Why would any Tyrone type do that? Why would he have that type of veracity and venom in his criticisms of women when he knows that he's benefited from the fuckery of women? You understand that, Sean James? I've benefited from certain aspects of women's fuckery. So the only thing a guy who's a Tyrone type is going to do is what I've already done, is if he happens to become a professional dating coach, he might write a book like The Possibility of Sex and just simply share some of his experiences so that they enlighten the more blue pill men out there who might be naive to the true nature of women. He's not going to just harshly blast them with all this anger and venom and veracity again, but he's just going to share that, hey, women are not as trustworthy as you might think they are. They're not as innocent and wholesome as you might think they are. And they're for damn sure not as strictly monogamy oriented as you may think they are. That's the perspective I come from when I want to share about women's fuckery. Is this is what I've experienced. For example, with the women, like if you read chapter 9 or listen to the audiobook, chapter 9 of Possibility of Sex, I basically break down that, similar to that article that I'll end up posting, I've been a woman's side dude again, man, a minimum of like 35 times. You don't think I know the true nature of women? Let me break this down to you, Sean James, and then I'll move on to my second subject, which is alpha versus beta, since you called me a blue pill beta male. Calling me, Alan Roger Currie, blue pill would be like calling Adolf Hitler the world's greatest humanitarian. That's all I got to say. Calling Alan Roger Currie blue pill, and even more specifically a blue pill beta male, is like calling Adolf Hitler the world's greatest humanitarian. Drops mic. Now, there's one more pill before I move on to alpha versus beta. There's blue pill, red pill. Then there's actually a third. I think became familiar with this third one from a fellow 21 convention speaker by the name of Rollo Tomasi, who's the author of The Rational Male. He talks about purple pill. Purple pill. What is purple pill? Purple pill is basically when a guy used to be blue pill, then he transitioned into more red pill knowledge, wisdom, and insight. But because he's trying to sell something, let's say he becomes a women's dating coach or relationship expert. Like I'm more so a men's dating coach. But there's some men who are women's, like Matthew Hussey would be one name I throw out there. Tony Gaskins would be a brother who's a woman's dating and relationships coach. Matthew Hussey, he's very well known. He's based in England, United Kingdom. Google him. Yeah, he's a very popular women's dating and relationships advisor and coach and book author. A lot of guys who have a career like that, some would even, maybe if I had to throw one more name out there, some people might even argue Evan Marquette, who I interviewed on Blog Talk Radio. Evan Marquette. Are guys who are purple pill. Yeah, the number one motivation for being purple pill is when deep down you know from your red pill enlightenment how women really are, but you're still trying to sell men and women on the belief that women are these, innocent, wholesome creatures who seek a soulmate and true love and all that stuff that sounds warm, makes your heart feel warm and fuzzy and all that stuff. That's considered purple pill. Okay. Now, alpha beta. Here's the thing I notice about a lot of guys on social media and particularly YouTube. A lot of guys think if they're really outspoken about women's fuckery, that automatically makes them an alpha male. I saw in somebody's comment section where some guy said that. He said, yeah, man, true alpha males are men who call out women's fuckery, and we don't hesitate to let them know that they the no good bitches that they are. That's a true alpha male. See, all these beta males, they scared to criticize women, and they do nothing but compliment women and defend women. But as true alpha males, blah, 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 blah. Insert dog face here. Let me break something down to you guys, and you in particular. I ain't through with you just yet, Sean James. Just because you outspoken in terms of your criticisms and evaluations of the flaws and weaknesses of women's behavior does in no way, shape, or form make you fucking alpha. Let me repeat that. Just because a man is outspoken with his harsh criticisms, his personal insults, and his ferocious evaluations of the flaws and weaknesses of women's behavior and their moral character and integrity does in no way, shape, or form automatically qualify you for being an alpha male. See, here's the component you're missing, man. You don't think that there's romantically and sexually frustrated beta males who bitch about women's behavior? I mean, seriously? I mean, really? Seriously? I would argue it's just the opposite. I would say a romantically and sexually frustrated beta male is going to be more outspoken about what they don't like about women than a sexually content and sexually satisfied alpha male. You think a porn star who's fucked thousands of women is going to get on a podcast bitching and complaining about the fuckery of women? Do you really? You think a man who's a street pimp is going to do that? You think a man who's a male gigolo is going to do that? I mean, seriously, do you really? You think any top-notch ladies man, top-notch womanizer is going to have a podcast bitching and complaining about the fuckery of women? Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. See, part of being alpha, and I could talk about this for the next 3 hours, but I'm going to try to keep my shit real short and to the point. Here's what you guys are missing about being alpha. Again, being outspoken does not make you alpha. Definitely not by itself. Does not make you alpha. What is one of the simple differences between alpha and beta? There's a lot of people who have their own highly subjective definitions and descriptions of what it means to be alpha and what it means to be beta. And I point out in my book, The Beta Male Revolution, I lay out my specific definitions and descriptions. But here's what I would say is a more general consensus component of being alpha versus beta. When you're alpha, if nothing else, when you're alpha, man, that means people have to be willing to follow your lead. And even more so, submit to your lead. Let me repeat that. In order to be alpha, consider yourself alpha, people have to be willing to follow your lead and submit to your lead. So, if you're a guy that's outspoken, but ain't nobody really following your lead and submitting to you, at minimum following your lead and at maximum submitting to your lead, how the fuck you gonna call yourself alpha? Now, I always say there's different types of there's alphas in different aspects of life. There's some guys who are alpha just with women. There's some guys who might be alpha in the business world. Some guys alpha in athletics. But here's the one thing that would be common among all the different types of alphas. You have to command a certain level. Gotta keep my hair looking smooth. You know, I got a lot of compliments on my hair when I was in DC. Yes, sir. My do-rag is doing wonders for me. You have to command respect in order to be alpha. So let's start with women. If women don't respect you enough to follow your lead and submit to you, you ain't alpha. Period. End of story. You ain't alpha. You could run your mouth like 24/7. You could be outspoken in a motherfucker. But if you're not able to command enough respect from women to make them want to submit to you, if you don't want to take my word for it, read the books of the legendary pimp Iceberg Slim. Iceberg Slim basically breaks that down in at least one, if not more, of his books. I'm the one key to be an alpha, man. You have to be the type of guy that women have a natural desire, natural inclination to want to submit to your lead. And in order for that to happen, there has to be something about you that's desirable. There's no such thing as being an undesirable, romantically and sexually undesirable alpha male. That's an oxymoron. Okay? Let me break that down to you. That's an oxymoron. Like I've heard guys say, well, you don't have to be a guy that women consider attractive or sexy to be an alpha male. You can be an alpha male without necessarily being considered attractive or sexy. In what world? In what world? Not in this world. Not in the real world. In a fantasy world. Now, again, going back to the different types of alphas, being romantically and sexually appealing to women has nothing to do with being an alpha male in the world of sports or in the world of business or when it comes to fighting skills and that type of thing. So there's different areas where you could be alpha. Like if I went to the Silicon Valley right now, the world of computer technology, computer software, do you think I would be alpha? Who the fuck is going to follow my lead compared to, say, somebody like Bill Gates? Bill Gates is a motherfucking alpha male, like a motherfucker when it comes to the world of computer technology and computer software. I would be a beta male like a motherfucker when it comes to the world of computer technology and computer software. So there's, again, you have different people, different alphas, but when it comes to dealing with women, part of being alpha man is something about you has to be desirable and appealing to women. If there's nothing about you that's desirable or appealing to women, how the fuck can you be alpha? I mean, seriously, how the fuck can you be alpha? What woman is going to follow your lead if she don't even desire your attention or companionship? Think about that. Why would a woman be motivated to follow your lead, with the exception if you got a gun to her fucking head and you kidnapped her and got her locked up in a cage? Why the fuck would she follow your lead and submit to you if there's nothing desirable or highly appealing about your attention and companionship? Do you get that, Sean James? So a lot of you motherfuckers here on YouTube, y'all can be outspoken in a motherfucker about women's fuckery, but if y'all think that makes you alpha, Alan Roger Currie is here to wake you up. You are far from alpha. Go listen to my show, The Erotic Conversationalist, if you want to hear how women respond to a true alpha male. Women calling me, saying to me, yes, sir. I want to suck your dick, sir. Sean James, have you ever had a woman on the phone saying to you, yes, sir, I want to suck your dick, sir? If so, send me the audio clip. Send me the audio clip. I want to hear it. I command respect from women. You don't command respect from women by whining and bitching about their behavior and by calling them no good whores, no good sluts, no good bitches. Now that shit's entertaining as fuck. It's entertaining. I admit that. I listen to some of them bad guys for nothing else because it's entertaining to the motherfucker. But you don't command respect from women by always pointing out all the flaws in women. That's what romantically and sexually frustrated beta males do. Men who refer to their current lady friends as burnt apple pies, from what I understand. Burned up apple pies. I find that interesting. So, now that I've broken stuff down for you, everybody, now I'm not talking to my Patreon subscribers. I'm not talking to my loyal and enthusiastic followers and supporters. Y'all know what's up with Alan Roger Currie. Y'all would never think to insult me like that. Oh, I'll give you a quick story of, I always bring up this verbal seduction story from my book, Ooh, Say It Again. If you got my audio book, Ooh, Say It Again, or if you don't have it, you should buy it. Listen to verbal seduction story number 1. That's probably the best of, I have 6 verbal seduction stories, but if there's at least one of those 6 that basically shows me being both a beta male and an alpha male in the same night, would be verbal seduction story number 1. I'm not going to go through all the details, but to give you a quick recap, I was on a triple date with 2 close friends. And you can say it was also, for me, a blind date, because I had never met this woman before. They met. One of my close friends who was hooking up with a woman, he matched me up with the cousin of his date. And for the first 75 minutes of that date, that woman treated me like a straight up beta male. She treated me like a straight up beta male. Until I asserted my erotic dominance with her and strengthened my backbone in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. And in real simple terms, I showed her my alpha side. And you could ask my 2 close friends who were there. They were witnesses. Man, that woman's behavior, it was almost like she was 2 different women. Literally. It was almost like she was 2 different women. The first, roughly hour and 15 minutes of that triple date, she was loudmouthed. She was smart alecky. She was defiant and just borderline disrespectful towards me. But I take most of the blame because I was allowing her to be that way. But once I asserted my erotic dominance and my alpha male behavior, man, that woman exhibited the behavior like she was my personal sex slave. She did everything I told her to do. Everything I told her to do, she was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. She was more feminine. Her voice was lower. She had a real soft voice. It was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I said, get on your knees and get on all fours because I'm getting ready to fuck you doggy style. She was like, yes, sir. I said, open your mouth so I can fuck your face. She was like, yes, sir. Man, my two friends who was on the triple date with me, they was tripping. They literally, one of the close friends, and I explained this in the story, he thought I had either went outside and got her drunk or gave her some drugs, or the third option, he thought I had literally hypnotized her. He asked me, he said, did you hypnotize her? He said, man, she's like a totally different woman than she was like a half hour ago. That's being alpha, man. When women, you command so much respect from women that you can tell them what to do, and they say in a very feminine, submissive voice, yes, sir. All you motherfuckers talking shit, if y'all got it like that, don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me. Send me a video clip, send me an audio clip. Show me, don't tell me. Show me. Because a lot of you motherfuckers throwing darts at me, you guys know if I was still in my 20s and 30s, maybe even my 40s, you know that if you introduced me to your halfway good-looking girlfriend, fiance, or wife, that I would have fucked your bitch. Marinate on that shit. For all you motherfuckers think Alan Roger Currie, blue pill, beta male, marinate on that shit. I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.